Happy Friday. Welcome to a new episode of the Social Media Scene. What's popping on today's episode? Well, we definitely got to talk about Facebook audio rooms. Facebook officially rolls out audio rooms this week. Also, applications are open for Twitter monetization, and I'll tell you what that's all about. Also, in other Twitter news, Twitter has a new way to share your tweets to Instagram that'll make life a little easier for you. And if you've got unlisted videos on YouTube, you'll definitely want to watch today's show, and I'll tell you why. So all of that and more is coming up next. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Welcome everybody to a new episode of the Social Media Scene. How is everybody doing? Happy Friday. I am Alice Fuller, Principal Consultant at Sheer Social. What in the world is Sheer Social? That is my business that wherein I do social media training and consulting. I do social media management too, some of that. But primarily I do teaching and consulting. Now, what is this here? This right here? This is a social media scene. This is where week to week I give you updates, news, information on what is going on in the world of social media from week to week. So for those of you that are new, hey, thank you. Thank you for coming through. For those of you that come every week, you know I appreciate y'all. And for those of you watching the replay, I see you and I appreciate you. So now I need you all to do me a big solid. Do me a favor. Go ahead, share this stream with friends and frenemies in those places and spaces. You know conversations about social media are going on. And especially in those places and spaces, you got those friends that think they know every blessed thing about social media. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those people. So go ahead and just put this right there and then walk away from it. You don't want to be blatant about it. You just want to put the stream right in their face, right in their timeline, their face, and right in their Facebook groups, timelines, their pages. If you know how to share this on Twitter, retweet it, mention it, however you need to do it to share it with those individuals that are always talking about social media. But yeah, they know they'll never admit they need a little help, but you know. So go ahead, share this stream with them. And while you do that, I'm going to share with you what today's rundown will include, because we got a lot to talk about today. Of course, this week, big news with Facebook. Facebook is doing the most. Facebook is doing the most with the new audio rooms. That's right. Audio rooms are the hotness for this week. Clubhouse. What is you gonna do? Everybody's nipping at your heels right now. So at any rate, we'll talk about that and why there's such a buzz around Facebook audio rooms. Also this week, Twitter decided, hey, we're going to open up these monetization tools we have with subscriptions, as well as with their version of what we kind of call a tip jar type thing. But you got to apply. Yeah, you got to apply. But I'll tell you more about that. Also, Twitter has a new feature that will help you share your tweets to Instagram. Now, for those of you that have those meme accounts, primarily with a whole bunch of funny tweets, this is going to be golden for you. And last but not least, YouTube. If you have unlisted videos, not private, but unlisted videos that you have embedded in websites and other places, you'll definitely want to pay attention to the news I have today, because YouTube is making some big changes around unlisted videos, because I know I got a couple of them and I'm gonna have to go and make some changes myself before YouTube does what it's going to do by a specific date, and I'll tell you what that date is. So that's the rundown for today's show. So let's go ahead and get the party started. But you can't get the party started until I get my clapboard. Get my clapboard here, because we don't start any production without marking it, as we call it in my other world of TV. And we're going to mark it. Go ahead. And bam! There we go. It is officially marked. We can start the party. So let's go ahead and start the party with where I want to start. Let's go ahead and start with Facebook, because I think a lot of us are getting so excited about these new Clubhouse clones, and we're eager to get our voices out there, build our brands and things of that nature around these tools. And we're also eager to make that coin, get that monetization flowing. Okay. Well, with Facebook this week rolling out officially. Now, I told you last week they were doing a little something, kind of testing it. Well, now it's officially rolled out, but hey, it ain't available to everybody. And yeah, I know you were like, what? It's not available to everybody? No, not yet. It's available, but I'll tell you what I mean in a minute, okay? Because right now, like Clubhouse kind of did, Facebook wants to leverage the two things it has going for it: celebrity presence and groups. Celebrity presence and groups. So unless you are what they would consider a public figure, you may not be able to take advantage the way you think you'll be able to take advantage of the audio rooms. Also, if you are a group admin, now if you're a group admin, you might be able to do a little something, which is good. So now that it has publicly rolled out, you must understand that it has publicly rolled out to public figures, selected public figures, and the Facebook groups here in the US. And here's the other piece too that a lot of people are not talking about. It has rolled out to iOS for now. I know Android people are like, you know what? Why y'all always treat us like step kids, like the step kids you don't like? I can't explain that for you. I really can't. It's a developer thing, I would imagine. But as of right now, if you have an iOS device and you're a public figure and you're an admin of a group, then you can start using these tools. The rest of us can listen. We can listen. We can join some rooms and things of that nature. But as far as creating our own rooms, now, how you define yourself as a public figure on Facebook, totally up to you. If you are a group admin, that should be easy. Facebook ought to recognize you right out the gate as a group admin. That should be easy enough, because you'll know in your groups if you have these features already in the group. But for those of you that are not, quote unquote, a public figure, then yeah, you're just being listen mode for right now. Just for right now. So don't be mad, just be patient. Also, people on iOS and Android, you can discover live audio rooms, which is good. And you can join from places like the news feed and via notification. So that's why I said from the start. Right now, it's public figures and group admins. And as far as who can create a room, but as far as who can listen, that's open to pretty much everybody. So don't feel too bad right now. Just give it a minute, because everybody had to be a little patient too with Clubhouse if you wanted to start your club. Same kind of difference here. So this is a rollout, an official rollout, but not an official rollout wherein everybody can take advantage of the features. And it was kind of interesting. I didn't hear too much dialogue about that and all the buzz going on this week. So Facebook says in the coming weeks, though, they will expand to more public figures and to groups, okay, who can host live audio rooms, and they'll have more new features. So give it another month or so, and maybe this will be open to everybody. Now, here's the thing too. Audio rooms launched by people and the groups that you follow will appear at the top of your Facebook news feed above the stories panel. So that's where you'll need to get those. That's where you'll need to look. And as far as the notifications, you'll probably get the notifications the same way you always get your Facebook notifications. Basically the same little shelf, right above the news feed is where you will see some notification that somebody you are following and things of that nature, especially a celebrity, is doing an audio room. So users will be able to sign up for reminders, which is good too, for upcoming audio rooms, similar to events, which is wonderful. You'll also be able to tap in the audio room from feed posts, which is what I just informed you about. So if you're a public figure, you can invite friends, you can invite your followers, other verified public figures, any listeners in the room to be a speaker. So that gives you, basically a lot to work with. And you can invite speakers in advance or during the conversation. That's pretty hot too. That's good. You can have up to, if you're a public figure, you can have up to 50 speakers, and there's no limit to listeners. So you don't have to worry about that. Now, when listening to conversations, you'll be notified when friends or followers join. I kind of like that feature, but then too, I kind of don't, because you may not want everybody knowing your business and what rooms you're dipping in and out of. But at the end of the day, that might be a good feature. And for those of you who are verified public figures, you'll be able to enable live captions. And of course, if you want to join, you can raise a hand, just like you could on on Clubhouse. I forgot is it the same thing in Twitter Spaces? I think it is. But one major difference is with the audio rooms, you can do reactions to participate in real time. Because, on Clubhouse, you have to make your avatar blink and things of that nature. With audio rooms, you have the same Facebook reactions. You can use those. So, happy day, I guess, for a lot of people who are group admins, as well as those individuals who are verified public figures. Hey, Curtis. Also, if you're in a group, if you're a group admin, you will be able to moderate who can do a live audio room in the group. That's good to know, because you may not want everybody doing, side chats and other little things that you may not be aware of. So as a group admin, you can control whether your moderators, your group members, or whoever else can create a live audio room in your group. That's good. So technically too, that kind of takes the pressure off of you as the admin to do all that work. Let's see what else for you. Now, if you're in a public group, both members and visitors can listen to the live audio room. If you've got a public group, if you're in a private group, only members can listen, and that makes, perfect sense. So you as the host will be able to select a nonprofit or fundraiser. Now, this piece I really do like. You'll be able to raise money, do a fundraiser during your conversation. That's live audio, because right now, going live, whether it's video or audio, is becoming the hotness, in case y'all haven't figured this thing out. Live audio, live video, with a layer of either e-commerce or a layer of, if you want to do a fundraiser. That's where we're going right now. And of course, people can donate in real time. So right now, though, here are some of the public figures that Facebook has partnered with. Russell Wilson. We love Russell because he loves Sierra and he don't mind showing it. Then we've got Rosa Clemente. She is an organizer, producer, and an independent journalist, scholar, activist. And she'll be doing discussions around Blackness in the Latinx community. And Russell Wilson will be talking about how to train your mind like an elite athlete. Okay. Cool. Then we also have Tina Knowles. Y'all know who that is. If you don't know who Beyonce's mama is, she get it from her mama. And Joe Budden, he's very well known in these circles. And DeRay McKesson, he's very known in the world of Black Twitter. So it seems to me that, like I said before, Facebook is kind of following in the footsteps of Clubhouse in one aspect, and leveraging celebrities, especially celebrities of color, to bring the masses to the audio rooms. And then hopefully everybody will be able to have access to creating the live rooms, just like, instead of just waiting on celebrities. Hopefully, I'd say, I hate to guess, but maybe a month or so, maybe less than a month, because Facebook is rolling out things pretty quickly. So I suspect once these initial rooms get started with the celebrities, things are going good, things are going well in the groups. And, Facebook is putting their feelers out there to see how things are going. Maybe give it another couple of weeks, maybe a month, and we all may have access to creating a live audio room. And you don't have to be a group admin, nor do you have to be a verified celebrity. Okay, so that's what's popping in the world of Facebook rooms. Now, what do the rooms look like? Well, y'all, it ain't it looks like everybody else. That's basically what it looks like. If I'm honest with you, it looks like everything else. I hate to say it, but it indeed is true. Because at the end of the day, Clubhouse set the foundation for this thing, and we all know it. But at the end of the day, too, the formatting of these rooms pretty much look like Clubhouse, too. I don't care if you're over there on Spotify, if you're doing Twitter Spaces, if you're now in Facebook audio rooms, they all pretty much look the same. So let me show you this. Hopefully I set up my browser correctly. As you see here, same old for the most part. Not much on design. It looks just like Clubhouse. Can I make that bigger? Yeah, there we go. So you see here, followed by the speakers, other listeners. Okay, looks like I said, looks just like Clubhouse. Nothing big there. Then let's go back. Then we have, okay, this is how, if I'm not mistaken, this is sort of how it will look in the feed when the person that you're following, or is this a group? No, this is not a group. Let's see this. This is a live audio room, how to change the world. Okay, this is one of the young ladies Facebook has partnered with, one of the celebrities, to do audio rooms. So you see there, it's scheduled in advance, just like any event on Facebook, pretty much. All right, let's see what else. And then we have, now here's the piece that I'm most interested in, the fundraising piece. People can donate in real time. Now you as the celebrity or as the group admin, you'll be able to do hopefully a successful fundraising campaign around your discussions. Because sometimes the reality of it is trying to get the funds after the conversation is gone, then it can be challenging. But if you're doing it, right in the middle as you're discussing, the issues and things of that nature, that might be the best time to make or to inspire people to donate. Okay, cool. And it looks just like the usual way we do the donations on Facebook, so nothing new there. And what else? What do we have? Anything else we need to look at? Of course, you can do the raise the hand thing. I told you about that already. This is how it will look in your feed. It's kind of big. It's not like you can miss it. If you don't see that in, when you go to your home section, then you just weren't meant to see it. You should not be missing something that big. So they literally put it right up under your nose. Okay, cool. Now let's see, which is basically the same place when people were doing a room anyway. This is the same place that the other rooms, the video rooms, were going to be. Okay, no biggie there. And then what else? Oh, then we got this element here that I should have told you about. This element is called stars. Basically, like I said before, everybody is trying to get that monetization piece, which is wonderful. That's what you want. So you'll be able to, as a public figure, you'll be able to monetize your conversations. People can buy a pack of stars, and then they could provide you, they pay for the stars in advance, and they basically give you stars. That's probably not the right phrasing, but if they like what they hear, then they can pay you in stars, for lack of a better phrase. And that is not the best way to say it, people. It really isn't. But if you've been on anybody's live stream, especially on Instagram and YouTube and other places, then you understand how the quote unquote the tip jar kind of works. And this is basically their version of doing that. But like I said before, this is not for everybody yet. Not for everybody yet. So hopefully in the weeks to come, more of us will have access to the audio rooms, not just public figures, verified public figures at that, and group admins. But for now, we can have a lot of fun listening and participating in conversations. All right, so let's move on to other news, because there's more to talk about instead of just Facebook. But I suspect this may pop. It just might. We'll see in the weeks to come. Unfortunately, though, for me personally, none of the celebrities I follow on Facebook, but have Facebook partnered with. But it appears, as long as you're a verified public figure, some other people, you should be able to do a room. So hopefully I'll be able to participate in that. Now, let's move on over to Twitter. Spelled Twiddah. Twitter. Now, for those of you who are eager, once again, as a content creator, to begin monetizing your content, we're going to talk about how Twitter now is doing what they're calling ticketed spaces. Now, for those of you that aren't on Twitter yet, now might be the time to fire up one of your old one of your old profiles, or get a little bit more active on your profile, because between super follows, which is once again that kind of tip jar, or through live events, audio rooms, but on Twitter they're called spaces. This is how you will be able to monetize content, or your tweets per se, on Twitter. Now, this is big because at the end of the day, all the major platforms right now are trying to figure out that monetization piece. All of them. Because, one, they want to keep people, they're especially the people that are bringing them all the good engagement, all the great content. They want to keep those individuals right where they are. So you got to incentivize them. So Twitter, understanding, hey, we got a lot of great people over here, and they're beginning to venture here and there and everywhere, but we want to keep them. Here's one way we can do that. We can do that by allowing them to have super follows, which basically you can set up a subscription to your content. Yep. Now the question is, with people, we've been getting tweets for free for so long. Is there anybody that you follow on Twitter that you would be willing to subscribe to? You think so? Or maybe if the person you follow was to, give up something different than just their day-to-day tweets, you might be willing to pay for that or subscribe to that. Now, with the ticketed spaces, basically, just like what I just showed you with the Facebook, live audio rooms, you'll have a chance to monetize your spaces and what's going to happen between the super follows and the spaces, on the surface of things, it looks like, hey, Twitter is going to give us an opportunity to make some good money. Yeah, that would be true. But here's the caveat. And there's always a caveat. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Okay, so with the super follows, so Twitter is allowing you to set up 3 different monthly price points: $2.99, $4.99, and $9.99 a month. $2.99, $4.99, and $9.99 per month. I don't think, that's overly expensive. People pay more for that, just to get a cup of coffee. So, but as a creator though, you gotta make it worth people's while. Okay. Now, as a creator on Twitter, you can offer any kind of subscriber only bonus content too, as well as interaction. So keep that in mind. Here's the other thing that you should keep in mind too. Now, if you are on an iOS device, you can get super follows popping. If you are on an Android, not so much. I know Android, y'all get treated so bad when things first roll out, generally speaking. But as of right now, here's how they're balancing that out. If you want to do ticketed spaces, that is open to iOS and Android, not just to iOS. Okay. But at the end of the day too, here's the other caveat. You gotta apply. Right now, Twitter is testing these monetization tools, but they're opening up these tools to people that want to apply to use them. So basically, I don't know exactly what Twitter is looking for, but why not apply? See what happens. Maybe you will gain access and get into this test. Because then I can only show you so much. You won't know until you know for yourself. Now, in Twitter Spaces, you can set your ticket price for your space as low as $1. Everybody coming for $1. Okay. And then if you really want to get luxury about it, you want to get high end, you can charge, according to Twitter, up to $999. Basically, that's $1,000. I'm like, unless Jesus is on Twitter, and Jesus, you may be there in spirit, but until you show up in flesh, I would not be paying $1,000 to see nothing on Twitter. I wouldn't pay $1,000 to see things here in real life, offline. So I personally would not pay thousands of dollars for, I can't think of any individual. And there's some people that I really, 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 really support financially, creatively, and everything else. But $1,000 for tweets and Twitter, I don't see me paying that. I really don't. But that's just me. Some of you wouldn't mind doing that. More power to you. So, for those conversations that are going to be happening in Twitter Spaces, if you are the host, again, you can charge as low as $1 and as high as $999 if you want to. Twitter doesn't have any problem with that. But here's the thing about the monetization piece that you might as well go ahead and be aware of it right now. Now, Twitter is saying, hey, once you start your monetization, you apply first. Keep that in mind. Then once you get in, here's how the monetization is going to break down. You can keep 97% of the revenue you generate from your super follows or ticketed spaces. However, if you are using, your Android phone or people are engaging with it through their phones, because this is not available to desktop yet, through Apple and or Google Play, whatever, they are going to charge 30% fee. Damn. That's what here's how I think about that. Right here. Okay, so Twitter, on the surface of things, is only taking 97% of the revenue generated from super follows or ticketed spaces, but the split comes with in-app purchases. And that right there, people, is the part that that's the part that kind of hurts a little bit. Yeah, kind of hurts a little bit. But at the end of the day, that 30%, if you're making a lot of money, that may not hit you as hard. But if you're not, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to even gain access to this until you're making at least $50,000. So Twitter is going to give you the 97. It'll take the 3% cut until you make $50,000. When you hit $50,000 in monetization on Twitter, then Twitter says we'll take 20%. Now keep in mind, you hit $50,000. That's a lot of money, especially coming through social media. Twitter says until you reach that, you can keep the bulk of it, 97%. We only gonna take a little 3% cut. When you hit 50,000, that's when we're going to take a 20% cut. But also keep this in mind, that 20% cut, along with whatever Apple App Store is going to charge you and whatever Google Play is going to charge. And my research says at least a 30% fee. Yeah. So that is where we are with things right now as far as Twitter monetization, as well too with the super follows and with the basically the live ticketed events, also known in spaces. Not live streams, not video. We're talking about live audio, ticketed spaces. So on one end, I do applaud YouTube. I'm not YouTube. I do applaud Twitter for, creating something. It's a start. It's not perfect, but it's a start. And I'm gonna give them a little bit. I give them a little bit, just a little bit of applause on that. But you're gonna put in some work to get that 50,000, especially for those who are not public figures and things of that nature. You got to put in some work. But once again, you got to apply. So I'm just trying to see if indeed I have where you can apply. Hold on. I think I do. Do I have it? Okay. So in a minute, I'll show you where you can apply because it's right there in the app. You don't even have to go to a desktop or anything to apply. So you might be questioning, okay, so what's up with the monetization? Why is $50,000 the benchmark? According to Esther Crawford, and she is a senior product manager at Twitter, she says, look, as for why we set it to 50,000 before it starts, here, earning 50,000 from super follows and ticketed spaces shows basically that you're getting value from these features and that they're helping you make real money. So if $50,000 is her value of real money, because I'm thinking if I'm making $100, that's real money to me. I can spend that. But I think too, for these platforms, they don't want a mad rush. So they set the stakes kind of high. And then that way they're better able to kind of control the flow of things. If everybody applied and almost everybody who does apply starts hitting that 50,000 mark, Twitter's going to be like, oh, damn, We didn't expect to have to give out this much money this quickly. So this way, they may not have to, kind of feel like we're giving out a whole lot of money and trying to keep up with everybody. This way, y'all have to work for it a little bit harder, and we can keep pace with everything. That's what I think the real answer is. But hey, I'm not a publicist, what I know. But I do work with publicists a lot. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So what is it going to look like? Let me go ahead and show you this. Now, for those of you that are not on Twitter, shame on you. Why are you not on Twitter? Great conversations are happening on Twitter all day, every day. You're missing out. So let me show you over here on Twitter's blog. Basically, it's on Medium. It's called mediatwitter.com. That's where they keep all their little announcements. So over here, you can see here, this is where the add tickets to your spaces. Now, remember, I told you can go as low as $1 and as high as up to almost $1,000 with Twitter Spaces. Okay. And then we talked about, now here's the thing too. I would be interested to know if Facebook is already integrating fundraising into their audio rooms, how will Twitter integrate fundraising into this particular tool with the paid events? I'd be curious to know, because it would have been nice if they had come out the gate with that element. But maybe in a couple of weeks they'll announce that, hey, we're adding fundraisers to ticketed events or whatever for Twitter Spaces. Maybe. All right, so then there's that. And then you've got here now the super follow. If you apply and everything is copacetic, then this is what you will see on your profile. So all of your followers can hit super follow. And as I said before, you get to set up your monetization a certain couple of ways. You can do $2.99, $4.99, or $9.99 a month. And you can offer any kind of subscriber only bonus content and or interactions. But this is what it will look like on your profile. Okay. And I think that's it. Oh, so here's where the monetization, if you want to apply, you see here, it says we're looking for a small group of people to be the first to try ticketed spaces and super follows with their audiences and give us feedback. So help us test and improve these experiences before they launch more broadly in the coming months. You're welcome to apply if you have an iOS and Android. If you're doing spaces, if you want to do super follows, again, that is only individuals who have an Apple phone. I'm sorry, Android. Maybe one day, maybe one day they'll open things up so that everybody can take advantage of things at the same time. But that says too, once again, when it comes down to testing things, it might be, we're going to test this thing with iOS, and then slowly but surely we will bring Android into the fold. Which reminds me too, I wonder who is it? It used to be there were more people that had Android phones than iOS. And I'm wondering if that is still the case, because maybe that too might be a reason why why some of these apps start with iOS or Android, or it could just be a developer thing for all I know. So I don't know. But at any rate, you see here, you go into your settings or in your menu on your profile, and you got lists, you got topics, you got bookmarks, you got moments, and then you will see monetization before you even get to settings. Okay, that is on the left hand side. You click monetization, and you see here if you want to apply for Twitter Spaces and or super follows. Okay, and good luck to you. Let me know how it works out if you decide to apply. Let me know. All right, and then let me know what they ask you too, because I haven't delved that deeply into it. All right, so let's move on to some other news, because there's more to talk about, especially where Twitter is concerned. Twitter and Instagram. Now, for those of you that love sharing those funny tweets over to Instagram, life just got easier. Yay! Because Twitter has figured out a way, and it wasn't that hard. I think, in my opinion, they could have done this a lot earlier. But hey, better late than never. So once again, if you are on an Apple phone, Twitter is giving you access to sharing tweets directly to Instagram stories. Directly to Instagram stories. So not necessarily your Instagram feed, but Instagram stories. Let's keep that in mind. Real easy peasy. So if you go to share a tweet, you'll see Instagram stories as an option. When tapped, you'll just add the chosen tweet into a blank Instagram camera frame. Then once the camera frame comes up, you can add your own image or video or available background. And there probably should be some editing options in the app. Real easy peasy for those of you that that are accustomed to doing a lot of editing within the app. This should be easy peasy for you. So let me show you what this will look like, because at the end of the day, I can show you half the time better than I can tell you. So let's go over here to Twitter, my favorite, one of my favorite social media tools. Okay, here we are over here. We are on Twitter's Twitter profile. And of course, in an attempt at a little humor here, please stop posting screenshots of tweets on Instagram stories. You can now share tweets directly on iOS. So here's what it looks like. Okay. Let me get is that the picture here? That can't be the picture. Let's see. Here you go. See here, you can share it on Instagram stories, share a tweet. That should pop up. And then here's my question too. Will you have to log in to Instagram? How does that work? Because once you hit, so you hit share tweet, then you hit Instagram stories. And if you've already got the Instagram app on your phone, then you should be fine. But I'm wondering, because so many of the platforms now are so sensitive about the sharing between apps. Sometimes, they do want you to make sure it's you and not somebody else, that kind of thing. So I'm wondering if it'll just automatically open up the Instagram app, or will you have to log into Instagram before it'll go through? So I haven't tested this, but if y'all do, let me know how it goes. I might play with that a little bit after the show. But at the end of the day, it's great because, hey, you got one more way to create some content on Instagram, and especially in Instagram stories, since Instagram still is favoring Instagram stories, which is good. That's a good thing. But my question is this. We know with Instagram being Facebook owned, Instagram has been doing a lot with, we want you to share. Why is that still up? We're not talking about Twitter anymore. We are talking about the gram. We're talking about, we're still talking about Twitter. That's right, Twitter and Instagram. So I'm wondering, will Instagram, now that they've got this push to keep everything fresh and original, if you haven't figured it out, Instagram, for the most part, they really, really want all the users not to share content that's in somebody else's feed into your stories. They were testing that for a while because these tests that they were doing said that people were seeing too much of content they'd already seen in stories. So they want you to basically keep your stories and your reels as fresh as possible. They don't like it when you share them from TikTok either, in case you didn't know. So they want everything to be as fresh and organic right there in the app, specifically for the app. So I'm my question with this thing with the Twitter and Instagram, will Instagram still, give favor to these types of stories, considering it is not something that was created directly within the Instagram app? That's my question. I suspect so, because of course Twitter couldn't get permission to do this without Instagram. So maybe only time will really tell. But that's just something that's rolling around in my mind right now, because there's such a push that Instagram is doing to make sure that you are creating fresh content and not relying solely on other people's content or user generated content for your stories, and especially for your stories and for reels. And like I said too, for those of you sharing your TikToks over to reels and they still have the TikTok logo in it, don't be surprised when you get that little notification or Instagram decides we don't want y'all doing that anymore. And to keep you from doing that, or to persuade you not to do that, the reach will lessen. But only time will tell. That I haven't seen any concrete evidence that is happening right now, but it wouldn't surprise me if it happens in the near future. But let's move on to other news, because there is more to talk about. One last story before we get out of here. So, you know what? I haven't seen my clapboard in a minute. Where's my clapboard? I like my clapboard. Where's the clapboard? Clap on, clap off. I move things around. There it is. Clap on, clapboard. The clapper. Don't sue me for that. I just realized that's I don't own that song nor the commercial. So I'm gonna tell you now, it'll be a dress rehearsal. You will get nil. Nope. If you want, just don't. Okay. I do apologize for anybody who did that commercial back in the day. So tweets. We're done with tweets and Instagram. So now let's talk about YouTube. Now, for those of you that have unlisted videos, if you were not listening for the first part of this show, now was the time you might want to really listen, because this is important. If you have unlisted videos on YouTube, okay, YouTube announced that any unlisted videos uploaded before 2017, any unlisted videos uploaded before 2017 will be made private starting July 23rd of this year. Why? I know you're like, well, why? Why is this even necessary? YouTube says, hey, we're giving creators the option to opt out of this security update and keep their videos in their current state if you prefer. If you have a video that is impacted by this change, we'll notify you directly. Okay? So if you have unlisted videos on YouTube, you will be able to opt out of this change. You can make your unlisted video public, which I wouldn't do, because if I wanted it public, I would have made it public from the jump. Or you could re-upload your unlisted video under this new process, or do nothing at all. YouTube says, hey, we'll set any unlisted videos uploaded before 2017 to private. And as a reminder, private videos can only be seen by you and the people you choose. Now, for those of you that are kind of new, you're not really YouTube savvy, you got public videos. Anybody can see those. You had private videos. Private videos could only be seen by those individuals you shared the link with. Okay? People you choose. And then unlisted was kind of like the happy medium, wherein it was uploaded to YouTube. It wasn't a private video. However, it was not searchable. It was not easy to find on the platform, even though there were some loopholes wherein some unlisted videos did pop up in search. I had a client that had that issue. So that was years ago though, but still, with this particular update, you do have some options. They may not be options you like, but you do have some options with your unlisted videos. Okay. It says once the videos are made private, starting July 23rd, so mark your calendars, any link previously used to embed or share them as unlisted will no longer work. So bloggers, I'm talking to you, bloggers, for those of you in the corporate video world and you got the unlisted video sitting there on your website, this is the time to figure out what you want to do. Let me again tell you what your options. You know what? Once again, I can show you better than I can tell you. So I'm gonna let YouTube explain it to you, because this is important, because some of you gonna end up with a fat little hole where that unlisted video was. So let's go over here.
That were uploaded before January 1st, 2017. They'll be marked as private starting in July 2021 unless you take action. Let's walk through what's happening, why this is happening, and what you can do. First, what's happening. As part of a security update, all unlisted videos that were uploaded before January 1st, 2017 will be moved to private on July 23rd, 2021. This is an optional change, and if you don't want it to happen to your old unlisted videos, we'll show you how you can opt out. These videos are not new and therefore receive less traffic, which we hope.
Okay, it appears y'all are not getting this audio. Hold on.
To make adjustments to your.
Hold on. Are y'all not getting this audio? Let's back that up. We're gonna back this thing up.
If you have any unlisted videos that were uploaded before January 1st, 2017, they'll be marked as private starting in July 2021 unless you take action. Let's walk through what's happening, why this is happening, and what you can do. First, what's happening. As part of a security update, all unlisted videos that were uploaded before January 1st, 2017 will be moved to private on July 23rd, 2021. This is an optional change, and if you don't want it to happen to your old unlisted videos, we'll show you how you can opt out. These videos are not new and therefore receive less traffic, which we hope will minimize disruption. And we're giving you time to make adjustments to your videos before this change will start to take effect. Unlisted videos that were uploaded on or after January 1st, 2017 will not be affected. Why is this happening? In 2017, we rolled out an update to the system that generates new unlisted links, which included security enhancements. We're now making changes to older unlisted videos that were uploaded before this update took place. How can you check which of your videos, if any, will be impacted? To see your videos affected by this change, sign into YouTube Studio from a computer. Then from the left menu, select Content. Click Filter, then Visibility, then select Unlisted and click Apply. Then you can sort by date in reverse chronological order and see what videos were uploaded before January 1st, 2017. For a helpful shortcut, we've also included a link in the description that should help you filter by all of your applicable videos in YouTube Studio. Now let's dive into the 4 different options you have for your legacy videos. Here's a quick breakdown. If you're okay with letting your older videos turn private, then no action is needed from you. You can choose to opt out to keep your legacy links working as they do today, but they won't get the benefit of the security update. You can choose to make your impacted videos public, or you can re-upload them and keep them as unlisted to benefit from the security update. Now let's walk through what each option means for your videos. First, what happens if you let this change go through and your video becomes private? Viewers who previously had the link to your video will no longer be able to watch or share it. If you embedded the video in a website or app, it will no longer work. And comments posted while the video was unlisted will no longer be visible on the Video Watch page, but they will still be associated with your video should you ever decide to change the visibility out of private. Private videos can only be shared with up to 50 email addresses, and anyone you share it with must have a Google account. Next, what can you do if you'd like to keep your videos as unlisted? You can opt out of this change for all of your impacted videos by filling out the form linked in the description by July 23, 2021. With this option, viewers who had the unlisted link will continue to be able to see it. If you embedded this video, it will continue to play as usual, and your video will keep all the data associated with it, such as views or comments. If you choose to opt out, your legacy links will continue working as they do today, but they won't get the benefit of the security update. This is only recommended if you treat your unlisted videos like public videos. For example, they're embedded on third-party sites or social media. As a third option, you can choose to turn your impacted videos public. If you do this, your video will be available to anyone using YouTube and can show in search results and recommendations. The video's URL will stay the same, and your video will keep all the data associated with it, such as views or comments. But as a word of caution, if it's the first time making the video public, notifications will be sent to your subscribers, and the video will appear in their subscriptions feed. You can update your videos to public individually or in bulk in YouTube Studio by selecting All, then going to Edit, then Visibility. Your fourth and final option is to re-upload your impacted videos as new, unlisted videos to benefit from the security update. If you do this, the re-uploaded video will get a new URL, and your original videos will turn private once the update happens. Any data associated with the original upload, such as watch time, views, and comments, will be in your reports but won't be attached to the new upload. And you'll need to share and embed the video again with the new URL. If you no longer have a copy of the video, you can download it from Creator Studio. The download will be MP4 in either 360p or 720p, depending on your original upload. Or a higher quality version of the file may be available using Google Takeout. But for both of these options, videos with a copyright claim won't be available to download. For more info on this update, check out all the links in the description below. Thanks for watching.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a lot. You got options. At least you can't say you do not have options. But again, for those of you that have unlisted videos on your YouTube channel, you got until July 23rd to take these measures and use them to your benefit, because otherwise you're going to end up with a nice fat hole on the welcome page of your website. You don't want that, because that just looks crazy. Or if you got unlisted videos in your blog post, you don't want people coming across your blog post during their Google search or whatever, and there's nothing there. So go ahead and knock this out as soon as possible, so that you don't have to have that big old hole sitting in your website and or your content, even if it's on social media too, especially if it's something current. So that's a wrap for today, everybody. That's it. So yeah, Curtis, thank you. Said my audio was low. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't have it turned up there on the old YouTube channel. So thank y'all for coming through today. Have a great weekend. It's Friday again. Yay. If there's a question, comment, even if you got concerns. I don't really want to know the concerns, but if it's important, then yes, inform me that what you're concerned about concerning this show. And then if you have a question or something you want me to address concerning social media on the social media scene, then of course, wherever you're watching this, let me know. DM me, private message, send me a message via YouTube, however you want to do it, or comment on YouTube. Here's the other piece too. I am looking for co-hosts. I want somebody else to share their perspective on what is going on in the world of social media. I don't care technically where you are in the world. I really don't. I do not care. The only thing is you got to be aware. You got to be available between at least 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and at least until 1 o'clock or 1:15. Give us a little room there. So if you can do that, then hey, and you are knowledgeable of social media as a whole, or if you're a small business owner and you want to talk about things concerning social media and how you use that, I'm open to that too. So go ahead and let me know that you want to be my co-host for an episode, and we can have some fun. Okay, so again, happy weekend, happy Friday. Be safe out here in these mean streets, or these good streets, and be careful, people. Please, you can come back next week and watch the show. So I will see you next week. Same time, same place, same profiles. Have a good weekend.